Hey, there we go. We're only like, what, 5 or 10 minutes late? Gosh. Late ski. Hello, how is everyone doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Is it? What day is it? Friday.
Friday.
I'm here with my son Leo,
Hello.
and yeah, we're going to be doing some Lego design today. Paul, hey, Techno Raquel, hey guys, Samir, Bilal, Dipesh. Oh, amazing. Hey, good to see so many of you here on Friday. I just put, yeah, it feels like forever. It's literally been like a week, but I'm looking forward to this. This one's going to be fun.
Yay.
Like we do a lot of logos here on the channel, especially on these streams. But we're actually doing one for like an actual human being this time. This isn't just let's do it for fun. This is like an actual person with a brand and a business. So we've got a little bit of a brief that I've pulled together. So we got a little bit of a brief, and this is for a lady called Daria Patalis, who I met at the back of an aeroplane when I went to the US, to Louisiana recently, and very, very interesting lady. We had a fantastic conversation, and she specializes in positive psychology, and this is my understanding of this is it's the kind of relationship between the mind and the body and diet and food, and yeah, my takeaway is that Daria is very much a force for good, a force of positivity. And I learned a lot about managing stress as well, which was very, very interesting indeed. So hopefully she's in the chat somewhere. Let's see if she's hiding there. But yeah, so I've kind of pulled together like a loose brief. We'll keep it pretty loose and pretty open. A few things that Daria has sent me that she likes. And I've got a few kind of bits and pieces of inspiration that you saw a second ago. All this fluff over here, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And yes, it's fun. I've honestly missed this. I don't do any like client project work these days, just because I've gone all in on like being an educator and teaching design. So it's nice to actually have like a bullet point kind of list, a brief of something to measure what you create against. So I have missed this. So it's going to be really, really fun. Deu, I'm from Poland and I love watching you. Awesome. We went to Poland recently to Krakow, and it was just lush, wasn't it? It was so good.
I literally wanted to stay now.
You want to stay there, do you?
Yeah,
All right,
I do anything to stay now.
do anything to stay there. Oh, Raquel says hi. She says hi, Leo,
Hi.
with a little kind of blue fish emoji thing.
Blue fish.
Oh, look, Pop Inda's in the chat. Your mum's here.
Hello, Mum.
Was that like a northern like accent? Hello, mum. Oh my goodness, God, he's getting older. They grow up so fast.
Yeah.
You have an audience from Poland because I see a Polish project is getting ready. Excellent, fantastic. Right, let's jump straight into it then. So, the brief. So what is the business and the brand name? So in English, because there's two versions of this. There's the English version and the Polish version. Positive Psychologist is the English version. I cannot pronounce the Polish version, so I will try. And I apologize in advance, Daria, and to everyone in the chat who is Polish. But it's Psycholog Pozytywny. How do I do? Was that all right?
Yeah, sure.
It's something like that. Hey, Tom. Hey, good to see you, man. How you doing? There we go. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I have rehearsed pronouncing that, and it was considerably worse. So I will take that as a win. And what is the purpose of the brand, the mission? To educate people on health, motivation, psychology, and health-related topics such as diet, activity, etc. And the main focus is to show that the mind and body are one. For example, the power of thought can influence the body. So Daria did send me like a lot of information, and I asked a bunch of questions, and this is like the kind of distilled down version. Like I've kind of taken all the information and condensed it into something that I can kind of keep there as I'm working on the logo to sort of, I guess, benchmark what I'm doing against. What are your products and services? Online courses, ebooks, one-to-one sessions, and Daria's on Instagram as well, and she's branching out into YouTube. How would you like to be perceived? A positive influence and a force for good. To give people hope, professional, real, and authentic. What words would you use to describe the look and feel of a new logo? So, luxurious, minimalistic, modern, professional, playful, inspiration driven. Now, there's quite a few words there, but if we kind of go over here in a second, it's kind of giving me a bit of an idea what I think Daria might be looking for. So any preferred colors, white, gold, black, or marble. And if we go over here to some of the examples that were sent over, you can kind of see in here where we've got the white, gold, black, and marble throughout most of these. So something very, very stylish, very we've got here, we've got luxurious, professional. Yeah, I suppose you could say they're minimalistic, especially some of them. Yeah, very clean and simple, which is right up my street. So I think this is going to work out pretty well. Yeah, this is going to be fun, this one. And it's interesting as well because there's going to be a Polish and an English version. I've got to consider typographically how this logo can translate into two different languages. So a nice little curveball in there as well. And something else that isn't part of this that was mentioned yesterday was to put a specific emphasis on the mind-body connection. I'm just going to actually just check my notes just so I've... Emphasis on is the connection between the psychology and the diet. Okay, so food, psychology connection, that's like a big focal point. In fact, I probably should. Let's go and write that down somewhere at the bottom. Also, do let me know how the quality of the stream is, because I'm on the Wi-Fi right now, and I'm a wee bit nervous that the connection's going to be a bit slower, but do let me know. YouTube says it's good, so... Right, emphasize connection between mind and... Oh, no, sorry, psychology. Psychology and body. And yeah, this is going to be... I love that, because as soon as I read that, it was like, oh, yes, okay, that's like a... It's like a really specific thing. You know, there's obviously like a lot of words and a lot of different ways that we could go with this, but I think it's good when working on a logo to kind of focus on a particular area or a particular thing. Otherwise, you can try and incorporate all these different things into a single logo, and it can just look a bit higgledy-piggledy, a bit too much. Higgledy-piggledy. Yeah. Is that like a British thing? I don't know. Hey, Gal! Long time missed the lives. It has been. It's been a while. Mohammed, I want to become like you. What? A ginger? Go on, then. Right. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so with all of this in mind, this is kind of a good thing to refer back to as well. I had a little look on the old Googles, the internet, and just tried to grab a bunch of things that spoke to me. Not literally, I'm not at that stage where I'm hearing voices just yet, but that spoke to me on a creative level and could possibly have some kind of influence on the design. Now, a lot of this isn't necessarily the style that I think we're going to go for, but there's elements of this that I think could be relevant. So like here, we've got the kind of the brain, or looks like the brain anyway, with leaves. So there's some kind of connection between the mind and nature, something like that. But I quite liked the linear style in particular. And same with this one here. It's kind of it's a brain, but it's a very simplified, minimal linear style, which kind of leans into one of the keywords, which was minimalistic. But again, like the colors, the typeface, I don't think that's quite where we need to go with it. But yeah, I just started grabbing a bunch of stuff. Now this was from the old Googs as well. And yeah, this one in particular, this one really caught my eye, especially the more linear ones. Very clean, simple, clever with the use of lines and it kind of connecting into a leaf.
Looks nice.
You like that one? And that just feels, gut instinct says that one feels a little bit more in line with what we're going to go for. Possibly. We'll see. Okay, so what what does everyone make of all that? And if you do want to follow along, you can pause the screen here or take a screenshot of the brief if you want to have a go. And if you do, during the course of this stream, I think this might end up being a multi-stream thing. I don't think we're going to nail the design in the next 90 minutes, but who knows, we might do. But if you do want to have a go, here is the brief. There's all the stuff, and you can send your designs during the stream to hello@dansky.com. Right. Have I forgotten anything? Probably. You like the scribble brain, Paul? Yeah. And this is the thing. Most of those designs, they're not even in the same style as the inspiration over here. But I'm looking at them and thinking, okay, how can I take the elements of that and kind of integrate that into something that is going to be more what Dara is looking for? Dansky, can you... Oh, sorry, it's my face is in the way. I always forget about that. There we go. There's the brief. So if you do want to grab it... Sorry, I know, Raquel. My big old ginger head was in the way. So I think the main thing with the brand name going from Polish to English is the word... psychologist is kind of reversed, but they both are kind of the same length. So I don't think we're going to have too much problem with the translation. I think going from one language to another sometimes can be vastly different. You're very welcome, Raquel. Right. Okay. And I think actually that what we could do, it's probably worth trying. It's not the most interesting for like the stream. Like it'd be nice to come up with something clever, but I think it's always worth trying. Sometimes you can just have like a typeface, a well chosen typeface and a box or something like this. It's it doesn't always, not every logo has to be super clever and have this amazing creative brilliant design to be like the right logo for the purpose that it's going to be used for. DK, much love from South Korea, Dansky. Hey, Popinda is obsessed with South Korea. She's just into like watching Korean TV shows and all sorts of things. Oh, thank you very much. First time watching your stream. Hey, Defo, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, right, well, I've given myself 9,000 pixels squared. We all know that's not going to be enough, and it's all just going to go wherever it ends up going. So it is what it is. But I thought we'd start in the center anyway, and just see what happens. Okay, right. Where do we want to start? Let's just jump to brainstorming some ideas. Try and see what I can come up with. So, something else as well. I saw this when I was looking up for things related to psychology, like logos or also icons, because oftentimes an icon, you get these very kind of modern icons that are a simplified representation of a thing. That's why I've included these icons up here, because usually icons aren't like crazy detailed. So if you're trying to get like the shape of a character or something, or like, I don't know, like this here or whatever it is, an icon can give you inspiration, even if you develop that into like a logo. Like this one here, for example. That could have very easily been born from looking at an icon and then thinking, oh yeah, I'll take that simple style and turn it into something. I do like that. It's very good.
What does Just Jackie mean? Just
Jackie? I got no idea. I'm going to assume that Jackie is a person and she has a brain and uses that brain to help other people. That's my assumption. And if you're going to ask me why this person here has a flower and a heart in their head, I don't have an answer for you. Yeah, well, the answer will be, you'll find out when you're older. There we go. We'll use that old chestnut. It's always a good one to just dish out to your kids. I'll tell you when you're older. But when I was looking up psychology and symbols and things that could represent psychology, this came up. And this is apparently the symbol for psychology. Like the symbol. And I need to... Hang on. I'll read you a description. Psychology symbol. Okay, so it's the Greek capital letter psi. Psi? It's often used to represent the word or study of psychology. And symbol for psychology represents the penultimate letter of the Greek alphabet, which is also the first letter of the Greek word souk, if you pronounce that correctly, which means mind or soul. That's from where the term came from. Which in turn gave us the name and discipline of the name of the discipline psychology, which is most commonly defined as the study of the mind. And I just couldn't believe that, because to me, like, I look at this symbol, this literally is the symbol for psychology. And the amount of designs that you could springboard off that, like, are just insane. Like, you could... Oh, there's so many different things you could do. Like, you could turn this into like a mind tree or something. So you could kind of have, I don't know whether it's brain or leaves or something. But you could, yeah, you could. These lines are meant to represent something, but you could turn that so easily into like a tree, whether it's a tree of knowledge or a tree of something.
A tree that grows like knowledge.
A tree that grows knowledge. Yeah, you could turn it into so much stuff. Or, I mean, what does that look like to you? If I just do this, I don't know why'd you have to do that, Illustrator? Come on. It's literally the shape of a person. You could literally have a person holding their arms up. I was like, really? Is it going to be that easy?
What about the feet?
I mean, maybe they've just got one leg. I don't know. But is it really going to be that easy to just... I think we'll keep that there, actually. I quite like that. And then when I kind of was looking at the examples... So let's just go up here. You know... I think, yeah, some of these have got a serif typeface in. But I mean, this letter is pretty much in a serif. I mean, this is a serif typeface version of it. And I was like, really? Like, that could that could be the idea. So I don't know. It might not work out. But just working from this symbol, there's so many things that you could do with it. Lots of love from my planet. Thank you, Rajiv. It is the Psi Greek letter, yeah. Ooh, interesting. It looks like the astroglyph for Neptune, which correlates with the psyche and subconscious. Pretty cool. Ooh. Tome says, I see a person. Yeah, that's what I saw as well. A person kind of holding their arms up. And if we do go back to the brief, you know, when I'm thinking like, okay, how do you want to be perceived? A positive influence, a force for good, to give people hope. What better representation could you have than someone literally holding their arms up in the air? Like, I don't know. It at least in my head, it feels like it might be coming together. So that is a route that I'm very optimistic about. And I don't know. Let's we'll start with. I'm going to start with the Polish one first, and I'm going to try my best to avoid pronouncing it again, just so I don't embarrass myself. You okay? I think actually I might be wrong, but I think the Polish version of this is all one word as well. So I'm pretty sure it's actually spelt like this on Instagram and on the website. So I'm going to put it into one word. Paul says, much love, Dansky, all the way from South Africa. Hey, Paul. Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Okay, right. Let's get some tunes on. I need some music. Music. If you could start to hear the music, please do let me know, because you shouldn't be able to. I'll try not to have a repeat of that stream before I blew everyone's ears out. These are 2 words. Okay. I think they're one word on the Instagram, but I don't know if that's just like the Instagram name. Okay. Do you speak Polish, Martin? I need to clarify this first. Gal says, hi, so I started working on this huge Notion site with many tools for designers. It's still in the building stage, but I think it's having potential of being a handy tool. I will share a link if you want. Oh, yes, please. Send a link to hello@dansky.com. Native Polish. Excellent. Oh, this is good. This is really helpful. You'll be able to help me when this stupid English person makes some Polish specific mistakes. Yeah. Gut instinct is telling me something serif, something really, really classy with serifs. I know a lot of these examples are sans serif in many cases, so the difference between a serif and a sans serif. Oh, don't distort the text down. That's not good. It's not a good start. You can see here we've got a T in sans serif, and you've got the little kind of tails or whatever the proper typography term is. I forget. So that's called a sans serif typeface, and this is a serif typeface because you've got the little kind of feet and the bits and pieces. Yeah, I feel like a really elegant serif typeface would be really smart. So we've got some really thick parts and thin parts, and that could lean quite nicely into the style of this as well. And this is interesting as well. Very minimal, symbolic. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I always watch your live streams after the fact. I finally caught one live. Yay. Oh, yay indeed. Awesome. Hey, it's a pleasure to have you here. Right. Okay, I guess we're going to have to start sketching. We can do this in Photoshop, but I'll give it a go in Illustrator. Let's try and get someone holding hands up. Just look at a photo or something. We'll see where this goes. As you'll probably quickly realize, my sketching ability is highly questionable.
Really good.
What'd you say?
Really good.
Oh, okay, I thought you were insulting me. I can't hear you. Sorry, I got dance music in my ear. Whoa! Why has he got a massive hand? This is. I rarely ever. People rarely ever see my sketching stuff because it is awful. But it doesn't need to be good because the final product will be good. So it doesn't really matter. So what do we got? What do we got? So we need to kind of.
Looks a bit like an alien.
Eh?
Looks a bit like an alien.
An alien?
Yeah.
That's not a good start. Well, that's like a mermaid. Come on, what you did down. Yeah. Do we need the feet?
Yeah.
Oh, why does it look like a mermaid again? Didn't mean to do that.
You need to give it legs.
Yeah. And I don't want it to be too literal, like an actual person with loads of detail. I want it to be more symbolic. start with a stick man as well. Get a little stick man in there. We could actually. I don't know if it will work or not. We could work straight over this. Change the color just so I can actually see what I'm doing, which would help.
They look a bit like tentacles.
Alien tentacles, still not ideal.
Oh, maybe
If we could get a bit of a wave going on. Yeah. Just something kind of playing on this a little bit. So we're not just kind of just using it as it is. And is there a way where I could integrate that into the word? If this was capitalized, let's have a look. In fact, I'm going to capitalize it with a serif font as well. We need Leo's cupcake lemonade stand logo next, indeed.
Yeah.
Leo, my son Leo, he started selling cupcakes and lemonade at the weekend, and he's doing very well with it. Or I could show you some more of Illustrator and you could design your own logo.
Yeah.
Even better. Oh, look at that. We've got a Y in there. We've got a few Ys. We've got a W. We've got a W as well. So the thing with the Y was, if I were to replace the Y with this symbol, I've got a few other Ys later on. But I've only got one W. So if I were to do something like that, let me just show you what I mean. Oops. So W. So yeah, look, we've got a W right here. See there? Up. So that could be the W and then a little bit kind of down the bottom. Or could we have something there with a T and then it connects to the Y? So these parts here, the arms, are holding both the Ys. So they're kind of like they're holding hands, holding people up. Because we've got two Ys here, so we do have a degree of symmetry. So I'm going to pull this out. Right, I got an idea. Rather than using my awful drawing, we're going to just do an image trace of that logo.
Well, that's not that bad.
Well, that's very kind of you. It's questionable. Oops. No, not the brush tool. Okay, right. Let's get rid of you, Pinky. Okay, we're going to shift the T out. We'll stick this in. Actually, yeah, go over there. So let's bring the T back in. So how can I merge the T in that shape there? So we've got the top part of the T. So what about if I were to shift that up and then we're going to taper that off either end. Ooh, it's a bit chunky. Yeah. There we go, let's bring it down. So I'm just trying to connect it with the Y.
Oh, I get it now.
Do you see where I'm going with it? What do you guys reckon? Got some legs with that idea, or possibly a bit of tweaking? The Y that matters is the one in the word psychologue. Yeah, so we could still use that for a Y. We could still definitely do that. So we'll have that on standby. Yeah, I think there's a few ways we could integrate this symbol. We could go Y or W. What I'm trying to do here is get it into part of the T. So it's kind of almost like the T is holding the hands of the Y and like lifting them up. The two Y left and right of the T form half of the psi. Let's have a look. Let me see if I read that correctly. The two Y's to the left and right of the T form half the psi. Yeah, possibly. I could make it smaller. I've just got to still make sure that it is a T. This is just Times New Roman, Raquel. Just good old times. Hey, Daria! There you are. I see you. How you doing? Hopefully you enjoy the stream. And feel free to shout out any ideas, or if you like where this is going or this is way off, then please do let me know. And we'll course correct in real time. Break them in half. What, these two here? I mean, that's a lovely symbol. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but can I just get a quick brief new viewer? Oh yeah, I mean, it's a little bit back in the stream. I'll quickly show you the brief. So if you might want to pause the stream. So we'll just jump back there. If you want to pause that and have a good read. What do you think about this idea here? I see a Jewish candlestick. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not sure what a Jewish candlestick is. I think it's got a name. I'm sure it has a name. Split it vertically. Oh, it's so difficult trying to understand the design ideas in written form. Yeah, we're not even thinking about the font right now, Kai. This is just... I feel... gut instinct says that I think a serif will look really, really smart and really classy. Not necessarily this one. Actually, definitely not this one, because it's just times. We can do better than that. But because this symbol here for psychology does kind of have a serif... It's in a serif font. I kind of want to explore that a bit more. Okay, I'm trying, Franco. Hang on. Split the psi vertically. Right, I got you. Oh, I see what you mean. Two Ys like that, yeah? In some designs, yeah, the font might change the design. That's all right, Kaushik. I've already tried pronouncing the name once, and I think I might have got away with it. Slam your tea in. Okay, hang on. Let's get my elongated tea. Zzz. Stick him in there. Yeah, so we'd have to do a different style for the Y, though. Yeah, there's definitely a clever design here somewhere. Let's go back to times in lowercase as well, actually. Don't want to lock it in too much just yet. Daria, what do you think on this symbol here? I was looking this up online, and this is apparently the symbol for psychology. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to integrate this into the lettering. So just exploring that as a possible idea. I don't know if you might look at that and go, oh, I definitely do not want to have that symbol associated with it whatsoever. Or you might think, oh, hey, yeah, cool, keep going. You need to also incorporate the health aspect, right? If you remember the brief correctly. Yeah, that's why I've got the brief up there. I can go off down a little design rabbit hole, Gal, but I've always got to kind of check it against this at the end. And a big part of it was emphasize the connection between the psychology and the body. So, I mean, one way that comes to mind doing that is something like this. And you could obviously do it cleaner than that.
looks a bit like how I used to do my eights when I was younger.
Say again?
That looks a bit like how I used to do my eights when I was younger.
Great.
No, that's literally how I did them.
I've got the drawing skills of an 8-year-old. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
So that could be another idea, exploring the mind and body connection. I could. And this is all just stuff that's coming into my head, like as I'm doing it now. So it's all super, super early at this stage. And that's pretty clean and simple. Throw it in a circle. There we go. Love a good circle. It can be quite helpful using a shape outside because it can give the design, or the logo mark overall, like a bit more structure. So when you come to like aligning it with things and putting it inside things and whatever, you've got like a bigger shape on the outside to align things to. So we'll stick that over there as one possible idea. The rod of Asclepius shows a snake. This could become the S in Psi. Oof. Not sure about the serpent there. I like the history of it. Yeah, and some of these as well. I mean, some of these are... There we go. Done. So these are all like base ideas. We're going to sort of try and springboard off of these. Mind and body. Again, let's get back over to the inspiration. Mind and body. This is interesting. I like this. I wonder if we could... Obviously, I don't want to go ahead and just copy that because that's super lame.
Yeah.
But I love what they've done. No, Dan.
That's kind of nice.
No, 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 no.
No,
no. I am innocent, Franco. That was no. Listen, guys, that was completely unintentional. All right, you saw what I was doing. I was doing the like the thing with the. Ugh, demonetized. You cannot escape that one. I know, it's on the internet, Franco. Immortalized forever. Do you know, I feel like it's not the first time that's happened as well. I feel like this has happened before. We've definitely had some phallic conversation in the chat before. And I think I may have been the cause of it, unfortunately. Maybe we just draw one shape at a time. Right, I need to fix my pencil tool because it's making my bad shapes good. Yeah, we'll keep that idea over there. I don't want to kind of skirt too close to that one. Like what I'm looking at that one is I'm thinking like, could I take elements of that, style-wise it's not right as it is, but could I integrate that into what I'm trying to do somehow? Just curious, on average, how long would it take to create a logo for a customer from scratch like you're doing right now? Oh my goodness. I mean, I've not worked for clients since late 2017, but like Luke's Iced Coffee, for example, that was what, how many streams? 3, 4, 5? Plus working in an airport, plus working at home. That was a long one, actually. That was probably like easily over 15 hours.
That sounds very long.
It was a long time, yeah.
Long time.
Maybe the upper part of the symbol for the W without the leg, and then just a small triangle below instead of the leg. Yeah, that was another potential one, wasn't it? Oops. That does blend quite well, actually. I know it's like a very different shape W, but it does blend quite well. I wonder. Where's the original W? Okay. Let's try and customize this. I'm just trying to customize it to keep the form of the original W so it doesn't look like a totally different font. How am I going to get that lower part though? Ah, there we go. Where's a knife tool? Obviously ignore the top. That will be properly redrawn at some point. Hmm. Oh, if I could get it to connect, it almost just connects to both of those. Just check how these words stack as well. We've got a slight collision there with the I and the G central alignment. Yeah. Although that could still work without the I, or we could integrate that into a custom descender for the G with the I. So that could look kind of cool, actually. We could have the swoosh coming around there. Do something like that. So the G and the descender of the G and the I become one. So we could do something like that. That little nugget wouldn't necessarily work with the English translation, though. So, but it is subtle. So, what if you use the psi to replace the P? Yeah, it can. It's a pretty good symbol for the letters, isn't it? There's quite a lot that could be replaced. Now let's try it. Let's give it a go. Oops. Cut off the descender of the psi so that there is a hint left and it will read more like a W. I mean, if this was going to be a P, it would actually fix the localization problem. Okay, so now we just need to make it more P-like. Right, what tool do I need? Maybe the eraser tool? I don't really use this very often, but... Oh, there we go. It actually can be quite useful. Huh.
Yeah, I don't use the eraser tool much either.
No. When I don't usually get kind of down and dirty like this in Illustrator. I do the sketching in Photoshop.
Yeah.
But it's... Because we're doing this is like a very condensed live process of just kind of jumping straight into it. Rather than spending hours and hours sketching everything out. So... Do you see what I'm going for? I'm trying to make it look more like a P, but still make it look like that symbol. What about if I made the left side smaller? Do you know what I mean? So it looks more like a P. A Davil wand thing. Oh, you see it as well, Paul? Replace both P's. Yeah, the way I would see something like this going is, how do I do this quickly with... Well, maybe I will have to jump into Photoshop. Just to sketch it out. Yeah, there we go. Much more sketch-like. This is what I'm thinking. Something like that. Do you see what I mean? So it has like a flow through it. So how would that look? So build out the serif. Bring it in. Little piece on the top there. And how would I finish that off? Is my eraser tool. If you're wondering what I'm looking down at when I'm out the camera, it's I've got like a big display pen tablet here, and it's much easier for me to kind of lean over and draw on there. Right, so you could go there. So we got the serif. I could cut a little piece out of that, make it work for both. I'm gonna have to hang on. I'm gonna move the display tablet over. There we go. Right, this is easier now. This is much easier. Okay. This is why sketching in Photoshop is sometimes a bit easier.
I feel like Photoshop makes it more a bit like art.
Yeah, it's because it's do I explain raster versus vector to the 8-year-old? It's because it's raster based. So everything in Illustrator is pixel based, so it's all kind of perfect and crisp. Whereas in Photoshop, it's raster based, so you can see if I zoom in, the quality gets worse. And you get a much more realism in Photoshop. So
Yeah,
that's why a lot of
that.
digital artists will work in Photoshop
Yeah, I
rather
can really
than
see that.
Illustrator. It depends on your style.
I like this stuff.
Yeah, see, I like... Definitely looks more P-like now. It's trying to retain that symbol. Too much P, maybe break the top right to get some sight. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think you're spot on there, Franco. It's a difficult one, trying to make it look like two characters. Okay, so we need to break it a little bit there. I don't think it's impossible to make this work. Where's the symbol? Let's grab it. And remember, it can be a subtle nod as well. It doesn't have to be super obvious. Oh, so I'm such an idiot. I've done this one on the background layer. Or full. Right, let's get the flow up. Oh, this is fun. I've missed this.
Why don't you just use a paint bucket thing?
Hmm?
Why don't you just use the paint bucket thing where you just click it and it puts the whole thing in?
Oh, we could. Problem is you get that. Yeah. It's because I've got... If I was using a hard brush, that would have filled in just fine. But because I'm using a soft brush... And I actually quite like drawing on the tablet as well. I actually really like the process of brushing in and drawing.
Yeah, I do like
It's
drawing.
good practice as well.
Yeah, I like drawing on the tablet too.
Use the erase tool to just smooth out those curves a little bit. Is that thunder? Or is it like a lorry? There's some really loud noise outside.
I mean, I don't even know if it's raining because the green screen's in the way, but...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can get thunder when it's not raining, can't you?
Yeah. Right. What do you think? Are we using just the letter P and E instead of Y? There is a T as negative space between... Oh, I mean, that would be delicious. The two Ys. Let's not write that idea off yet. This is peak content. Thank you very much. I think that's a compliment anyway. If it is, thank you. It might be easier putting the capital P and the psi on top of each other. I mean, I could do that if I wasn't such an idiot and hadn't put the P on the background layer like a fool. It's fine. I'll redraw this anyway. Good even, actually.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
That's not really necessary. It's just a little bit of an accent or a flourish, but we don't... I'll leave that off for now, because that ain't important. Getting the kind of main shape is more important. Let's bring that back in here. Huh. A much more minimal representation of that shape. That reminds me of something else. I can't think what though. So, oh, I've forgotten the word now. How do you spell it? That one there.
God, that is hard to spell.
Hmm?
That is hard to spell.
Psycholog. And let's just go with this for now. Minus that. We'll drop it all into lowercase. Bring that weight down. So we've got like a more minimal geometric representation of that shape, or what could be, but it's still also a P. I know I was pretty set on the serif thing, but I shouldn't really write anything off too soon. And the S and the Y kind of nestles in quite nicely as well into that space. So again, let's just slot that one in there. Nice, very good. Not convinced it works in its current form, and I don't think this is the right font at all. But it's the first one that came to mind because I know it's got these very kind of geometrically perfect circles and letter C's and G's and what have you. So could work. Could keep it there, could go there. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely is a starting point. The power off button, yeah. That's what it is. Usalog. Yeah, and I mean this thing here, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. We could very easily do something else with it. Yeah, that does look more like a Y then, though. We're going... Mr. Cat's right there. We are definitely going more towards a Y. I thought you were laughing then.
No.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the word Mr. Cat.
Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha! Yeah. Slight break there, maybe? We could do something subtle like that. Do you see what I mean? So we've definitely got a P, but we've also got a really subtle nod to that shape. Rajiv says this is good too. It also has a pillar now. What about two hands protecting... Wait. What about two hands protecting two carrots? These carrots fill the white space. Carrots. Doesn't read as a P. Sorry, Raquel, you lost me with carrots. Am I missing something? The hand drawn has a pillar in the middle. Yeah, there's definitely potential, I think, with these ideas. Obviously, everything I've done so far is just me trying to sketch things quickly to show you what I mean. It actually looks awful, but when it comes down to it, making the version kind of at the end, it'll all be clean and proper and perfect. But in the meantime, feel free to laugh at my quick speed sketching ability, which is non-existent. Okay. The only purpose of this really is to just see if I can get it to a point where I look at it and go, yeah, that idea's got some legs. And if it's got legs, then I'll pursue it and spend hours refining it. If not, it gets discarded. I mean, you could always have this like an upper caps thing. Slightly larger than the rest. Oh, I do think that could look quite nice. Just don't do the Aladdin's oil lamp with the line. Food, mind, and body. Good point. Good point. I think, yeah. I mean, if there was a design where this symbol is a connection between the mind and the body, that would be ideal. You can see how very easy it is to get lost down the rabbit hole of ideas. Okay, mind. Mind, soul, and body. Hmm. Little tiny legs. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, the icon, the icon idea of connecting the mind and the body is definitely another one. But I feel like at the minute I've gone down one rabbit hole, so I'll probably go back and explore some mind body stuff. Because I feel like, yeah, you could create like a really simple, more icon-esque kind of mark. I feel like there is somewhere, there is an idea here that connects the mind and the body with this shape. It's just too perfect of a shape, kind of, with the way it's got its arms up to the side. I think I need to look at some more icons. Icon hands up. Just get some ideas for sort of shapes. What would you say? Icon. Yeah, it's not far off a meditation pose, actually. It really isn't. Let me see if I can... Huh. Yeah, I think maybe the infinity symbol is a good shout. I don't know, Ahmad. It's not something I've ever had a problem with personally. But I would always check the kind of licensing for any fonts that you are going to use, whether it's Google or otherwise. That isn't really someone with their legs crossed, but you can see where I'm going with it. I wonder if we could angle the arms down as well. Let's try. I'm not sure what happened with the legs. Oh, dear me. It's kind of like, I don't know.
That's what I thought. It does look like it's confused.
It's alright. This is very early stages. There will be many hours ahead spent refining this. Okay, we'll park that one for now. Aaron says, looks good for a yoga idea.
Agree.
Emphasize the connection between psychology and body. Okay, all right. Another way that we could do this is actually do it a bit more simply and connect the words. So where's that other one? Real simple. You know where I connected that G in the I? You could arguably say that's a very subtle representation of the mind up here, the head, the eye, the mind and the body with the eye. Mind being the dot on the eye, body being the... So we could actually make that connection between some of the letters instead. And show that connection in the typography, perhaps. That little nugget there won't work with the English translation, though. What do you reckon? You like the connection idea, Aaron? Let me just remind myself what it is in English. So it's positive psychologist. Yeah, I think that's right. So that you can see the difference in word length is quite different. So if I'm going to make a connection with the words, it does become somewhat tricky when it comes to localization as well. Two P's when one's flipped can create the psi symbol. Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually, for a mark as well. So if we were to do that, they basically do more or less create it. So what I'd probably do is, where's my eraser tool? Get rid of that. Huh. There we go. PP, the psychology symbol. I mean, yeah. My only reservation is that it looks, I think, too much like the psychology symbol. So what I would probably do is I would look for... I do have a really nice serif font, and I can't remember the lemon name of it. I would look for a serif font that is much more elegant and has kind of thinner parts to it, so it looks more... just less... Like when I say the ordinary symbol, like if you Google the psychology symbol, where is it? I've lost it. If you Google the psychology symbol, that is pretty much what comes up. That is what you see. So we could still do that and back up two P's, and that's a great idea, and it could work. But we've got to pick a font that isn't going to look, at least in my opinion, too much like the psychology symbol.
Ooh, I like that font.
You like that one, do you?
Yeah.
Blythe.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah, normally, Dennis, I would kind of spend more time mapping this out and going through a bit more of a an early process, but as you know with these streams, sometimes it's fun to just kind of get stuck into it and throw ideas around, and everyone has ideas, and then we get to kind of play around with all sorts. So I wouldn't say that this is at all representative of a typical logo design process. Sometimes it just comes together. But yeah, I do like this format because everyone kind of gets to throw in their ideas, and at the end of these streams, it's always a team effort every single time. And we've got like 100 different ideas left on the rest of the Illustrator artboard.
Do I like that?
Yeah, this isn't it, but this is more kind of where I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, but does it look a... Oh, no. Does it look a bit...
Weird.
It's happened again. We're going to have to keep searching. Maybe split them, like keep the space so they still read as P and P. I mean, something that might be worth considering is if I can even have a logo look that identical to the psi symbol from a legal perspective. So, giddy up. Glassstone. That's quite nice. Yeah, I'm not sure about the double P thing. Hey, Danvir. Plus for positivity. Oh, yeah. I really love that idea of doing something with the lettering, but I just don't think it's going to work with the translation. Unless the only constant with both of these is that they both start with a P. So, for example, you know, I couldn't do anything with the G here because it doesn't have a G in here. Unless I were to go with that second G. So unless I were to style a letter individually. So let's say I were to do something with the G that, I mean, well, that actually, let's just look at that G on its own for a second. That's not too dissimilar to what I was drawing earlier. So, you know, you've got the mind and then you've got the body. Not like that. I don't know what that is. But the link between the mind and the body. I mean, and arguably, you could say the stomach or... Wondering, because if we could style a G to represent a link between mind and body, there is a G between both words, so we could kind of keep that constant. Or we do something with the letter P's at the start. You know, we've still got that one over there, which could be an interesting idea. Maybe we could even branch that off a little bit. Wonder how these look in caps. Let's capitalize them. Yeah, lengthwise, that bottom one's going to be bigger. One other way that we could get around this is we could say that the second word is going to have a set size. So let's say it were to be that, and then we could do the same here. Just match the same size words. So I don't think we'd be able to do something with the lettering specifically, but we could have a symbol or a mark or something consistent across both. So if I were just to grab this one, for example, just chuck this in here for now. You can see it kind of gets around the whole localization issue. That's one way we could get around it. Oh, thanks, Yusuf. Thank you. Other words we can consider for positive psychology: human flourishing, search for satisfaction, and contentment. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot more of this kind of stuff that I need to do off camera and just try and sort of narrow down 2 or 3 ideas that are definitely worth pursuing. And I think what we'll do is we'll definitely pick this up in the streams next week as well. Because yeah, sometimes it's getting the right direction, but once you get the right direction, it's like, okay, full steam ahead, let's go, and then just branch off ideas. But you know you're onto something. And I haven't got that yet. I kind of know it when it happens. I think this one is probably the closest maybe at the moment. You can see it kind of even in 2 different fonts. I'm not saying I like that font at all, but you can see that the idea of the psi symbol being doubling up as a P can work across different fonts. So there's potential there to explore it, you know? I like that, the infinite person symbol. Oh, well, this one. Yeah, that's just an idea, really. We could play around with that at some point. Thicker and thin. How would you represent mind and body connection? There you go. That's a question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like there's an idea with that one. That it might take a little longer to brew, I think. Hmm?
That is a hard question.
Hard question. I like the sans serif option too, says Raquel. Oh, well, this one. I mean, maybe, yeah. Even if it's not necessarily the right font, there is still potential there, I think. Have you tried referencing a cactus? Not yet. What about the P in like a bold black font, and then the arms from the side overlapping the P? Cut a thick stroke along the arm. Yes, that does make sense. So think it does anyway. Let me have a look. And then the arms from the psi symbol. Are we talking about this one here, the P psi symbol that I'm working on? Overlapping the P. Cut thick stroke. No, sorry, I don't understand. I'm afraid not. Let's just try and smooth this out a little bit.
Pie.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor. Still got that idea right back at the beginning. I wonder... don't know if it will work or not. Oh, goodness, how would I do this? Chop that off, paste it back in and flip it so the T goes the other way. Ah, definitely looks like a Y now. That's no good. I was trying to make it look like a T as well. Unless I could scale them down. Yeah, it's the scale tool. It just does whatever it wants. It goes a bit wild sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or what about using... oh wait, hang on, no, this isn't going to work because it's not the English word. Ah, I was going to say, what about... in fact, I've just realized, yeah, this wouldn't even work with... none of this would work with the English translation because it's a totally different word. Ah! Oh, I was thinking about bridging the gap on the Y. I thought I could try and do something clever. Do you see what I mean? Sort of bridge the gap. See, it's like a T? No? Okay.
No.
But I've just realized that the word is totally different. So doing something with the lettering, unless it's going to be the P, is kind of a no-go. Poppy says pie flavor. Boom Satisfaction. Yeah, if you want to quickly sketch something up, feel free to sling it over to me here. I've probably got another sort of 5 minutes or so before I've got to go and get my son from school. But I'll carry on thinking about this over the weekend, and we will pick up the stream for sure next week.
I want to do some Adobe Illustrator when I get there.
You want to do some as well?
Yeah, on the PC. I want to design my bits and bobs stand logo. I did get any idea of it being like a square and then some lines on half of it, and then you've got a P and then the and logo. P and...
What, for this one?
No, for my bits and bobs stand.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking maybe we could do like a square and then half of the square filled with some lines, and then having it P and the and logo, so P and L, standing for Poppy and Leo.
Right, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sling all this to one side. Because I totally forgot that that word isn't going to work with the translation to English. So we're going to have to focus on the P, possibly. So something to do with the P. Or customizing another letter that does appear in both translations. And we got this idea over here. Okay, let me just grab what we got. Let me grab what we got. Got this one here as well. Yeah, we got this idea as well. Maybe not like that, but that's like very kind of mind-body connection. Stick that up away. Get that out of there. Looks like a little Oompa Loompa with big shoes.
We've made a lot of progress today.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've made some progress. It's not exactly flying out the gate kind of start, but I think it's like I always say with these streams, what I'll do is I'll end the stream and then 2 hours later I'll get a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's just it's very different when you're like focusing on just designing with headphones in at home or whatever versus kind of trying to like talk through your process at the same time. It definitely does kind of take a little bit of that brain power to multitask.
Yeah, I get that as well when I'm trying to do two things at the same time. So like while I'm trying to do something, if I'm talking to someone, it kind of makes me mix up what I'm doing with what they're saying.
Email a photo, Vero sketchbook that may help. Excellent, thank you. Review the brief. Yeah, and that's a good point, Raquel, is to keep going back to the brief. It's so easy to get lost ending up creating something lovely and it's like, well, that's not actually on brief. Oh, nice. Okay, the sidearms could also double as the leaves, maybe. Nice. Right, let me just show this. Thank you so much for sending that over. That is really cool.
Did one of your comments draw that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Boomtastikifaction. Oh no, boomtastikification. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's intended to be the P, and then you've got the symbol. So the P is more in the top part. Ha, nice. Thank you very much. I will definitely explore that. Yeah, so I think it's going to have to be, to kind of work with the localization, it's going to need to be something with the letter P's, some other kind of mark or something with the lettering that does work on both. I think a lowercase g with this kind of style of descender could work. We could customize that and turn that into like a mind body thing quite easily, and then use that for both the Polish and the English version. Nice shoot. I love this one as well. I really do love that one. Something with a circle could look quite nice. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Lots and lots of ideas. Yeah, I feel like there is an idea as well, like with the psi symbol that's just not there yet. It's too perfect, and kind of the way that it could double up as a double P or something like that. But it's just getting it looking good, like two P's and that symbol, and not having it look like something inappropriate. That'd be ideal. Oh, amazing. Right, I got to shoot, everyone. I got to go and pick up my son, but we will pick this up next week, and I will carry on generating some ideas over the weekend. And yeah, excited for this one. This is going to be very interesting. It's nice to work on a semi-live project again with an actual brief and everything. As you can see, like, it's so easy to drift away from the brief, and when you have something written over here, it's kind of like, come on, back you come, Dan. Try not to get carried away. But yeah, if anyone does want to have a go in the meantime, and you want to fling some ideas over to hello@dansky.com, feel free.
hello@dansky.com.
A free psych therapy session at the end of every live stream would be useful. Indeed. Oh, fantastic. Brilliant. All right, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week.
Yeah, bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.